you know, just, behaviors that you've developed over your life. I've probably had bad behaviors with food since I was a child. And, you just don't undo you don't undo 40 something years of bad food choices and bad food behavior in 6 months. And, it takes a while. And I don't think I'll ever be free of them, but now that I can identify them, it makes it much easier.
That's it, identifying. I've been able to identify. Kenneth, since you've been on this journey, do you feel more awakened, more like where you wake up and you are very mindful of how your day starts, how your day ends versus prior to the program whenever you were just existing? Do you feel like that you're more where you are thriving in life in a sense?
To some degree, yes. I definitely, especially, my days used to be just about what I was going to eat, what one meal to the next. And it was just a matter of existing. And so now food is just not really a big part of my day. I don't wake up wondering, okay, what am I going to eat today? It's more about my job, my family, my health, exercise, just so many things now that, I've taken up riding the bike again. I stopped, and I'm just thinking outside of food. Food is not the center of my universe anymore.
And I can remember the conversation we had, I guess it was on April the 19th, whenever you were sharing with me about riding your bicycle, and you said it had been 12 years. Is that right?
Yes.
12 years since he had, ridden a bicycle. And whenever he shared that with me, I could feel the energy in his voice. I could feel that excitement where, it was like he was able to do something that he hasn't done in a while. And yet he is the guy who created it. He's the one that woke up every day making the choices because it's something he actually pursued, because he said, I want health. Well, what is health? Kenneth, to me, he has proven that, this is health. So Kenneth, has it been worth the past since October the 3rd? Has it been worth the journey going through this?
Oh, definitely. Health-wise, mind-wise, yes. I'm so glad that I made the call to you last September, and I'm just so glad that that I made this journey.
Well, you've been a light to a lot of people, because it's like, wow, I wanted to celebrate you tonight because, like I said, to lose 100 pounds, that's to me, it's huge, because it's like you've had to wake up every day and you've had to be in check with yourself. You've had to make the choices. You've had to realize that there's something more in life that you want. And so I celebrate you tonight as your coach, because like I said, you've taught me a lot mentally, because whenever I made the step, just like everybody that's on here tonight, I made the step to do the program myself. But yet whenever I chose to be on this program, I chose it for reasons that was, mine personally was physical transformation. But yet whenever I made the step to become a health coach, I'm mentally transforming. So the mental transformation for me personally is people like Kenneth that comes in my life, because Kenneth has helped me to become better mentally. So if you can be better mentally, if you can always be growing and learning and be able to, be inspired personally, because, like I said, the food itself, it's going to transform your physical body no matter if you believe it or not. But it's people like Kenneth that come into your life that brings another little extra something to help you as a coach be able to mentally grow to a level that I never did think that, I mean, at the time I coached Kenneth, I was like, well, he can do this. Just eat the food. You're going to lose 100 pounds. That's no problem. But it's what Kenneth was able to learn through the process that helped me to understand the components of the healthy body and the mind, how it's such a married relationship that you got to have that in order to really live optimal health. So, Kenneth, tonight we celebrate you because you have done something that there's many people long to do, and they can do it. And if there's one piece of advice that you could give someone that maybe is looking to do the same thing that you've done, what one thing would you want to share with them?
Oh, gosh. Believe in yourself. Put all of the old habits and ideas aside, and what have you got to lose? This is your life you're talking about, and it just take it one step at a time, 1 minute at a time. Sometimes it was all I could do to hang on, just especially in those first weeks. I didn't think I could do it. My wife and I said, I don't think I can live like this. I don't think I can eat like this. But as I got to feeling better and the weight came off, I realized that, it was worth it. And I did make the right choice. And so like I said, I think that the best thing to do is to just throw caution to the wind and just give it a shot, because you never know what will happen on the other side.
Mm. Wow, that's awesome. Well, I want to open it up for questions, because I know I've got people on here with us tonight that maybe just want to pick your brain and, maybe ask you something that can help them along their journey. So is there anybody on here that would like to ask Kenneth a personal question? Okay, Katie.
Congratulations, Kenneth. How, you said you've been on a lot of diets before, so how important did you find having a coach be, having Lisa?
That really was a big plus for me, because both times that I did it all on my own. Having Lisa made a lot of difference. It helped out that a lot of the things that I was going through was just unique to me. We could share a lot of things together, and so it just really brought a lot of my bad behaviors to light, my life, and it helped me to deal with them and to identify. And so having Lisa there as a sounding board, as just an ear to listen, mm-hmm. I think made a lot of difference. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Lisa, for that.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Like I said, you taught me just as much as, the things you share with me helped me grow. So that's what this is all about. It's a two-way street. We're all supporting each other. So anybody else have a question for Kenneth? Becky?
I'm trying to formulate. Go ahead. Now I know Lisa asked you what your advice would be to someone who is in your position. But is there anything else that you'd like to add? If you, if somebody has, a large amount of weight to lose, what other advice could you give them? And how can you help us to, as coaches, what advice would you give to us if we have someone who has a large amount of weight to lose, to help them, how can we help them? Because I know I have family members who they do need to lose that weight. And they keep telling me, you just don't understand what it's like to be that large. And I want to understand. I want to be able to help them and, to say the right things, to do the right things. So what advice would you give us as health coaches?
I guess the only other piece of advice I could give you would be that it does seem so overwhelming, the thought of weeks and months of doing this. But I guess I just harken back to it's breaking it down to an hour a day, a minute a day, a step here and a step there, because I know it seemed like to me a year seemed like an eternity. And I guess it's just a matter of keeping your mind off of the year part and just concentrate on the here and now. Right now, I know when I quit smoking, and that's the only thing I can tie it to, your mind can only perceive what is real to you right now. I can't think about yesterday. I can't think about tomorrow. All I can think about is right now. And my mind can only perceive what is happening right now. And right now, you're in a good place. You're making a good choice right now. And that's all you've got is right now. And time kind of takes care of itself in that sense. I mean, it just, sometimes I'm amazed it's been 7 months since I started this program. It just seems like yesterday. But I think it was just a matter of each day. I just took each day as it came, and I didn't worry about tomorrow. I didn't worry about next week. I just worried about today, right here and now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That was wonderful, and congratulations. That's awesome. You did a great job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Anybody else have a question for Kenneth? And that's what's so huge is we think about tomorrow, next month, next year. And that itself is exhausting whenever you think about it. But I never knew that it was going to be work to try to harness our minds from going there. So if we can be mindful of our minds wanting to go there, and go, there's my mind wanting to go there. Why is it going? And then pull it back. It's the skills, those things that we each have to learn so that way that we can be successful. If it's weight loss, or if it's going to learn to water ski, if it's going to learn how to grow a garden, or, we're still, it's all the same, but it's being able to think about what's ruling us and our minds. I find that the mind component with the program, it's you get the mind to where you're controlling the mind, where the mind's not controlling you. You can accomplish anything in this life that you want to accomplish. So powerful stuff. So anybody else have a question for Kenneth? All right.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Chris?
Yes, it is. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hi, Chris.
Hey, Kenneth, for you, what was different with this plan? You've mentioned you've done other diet plans in the past. What made this one successful for you? I know you
Well,
have the coach, but what's different about the meal plan? What made it work for you?
The variety, the fact that I wasn't pinned down to a specific type of food. I could substitute and rearrange. I could have my lean and green in the morning for breakfast. I could have my lean and green at lunch. I could have it at dinner. And then just the variety of the food, the Medifast food. When I got tired of the hearty stuff, I went back to bars, and it's so interchangeable, and it made it so easy to, this time I'm in a bars mood, next time I'm in a snack mood, and just the different things that we used to go online and watch how people prepared all of these things in different ways, and there's just a multitude of and the networking that just made this plan so enticing over others. And then having Lisa as a coach helped tremendously. And so I think that's what was the appeal for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier than this. I can remember myself, I was a hairdresser prior to being a full-time coach. And as a hairdresser, you don't really have a lot of time. You're having to, you need something quick and on the go. I love the convenience where I didn't have to think and I could trust. I didn't have to count calories, those kind of things. So to me, anything we can do to free our minds from the stress part of it, that to me, in a world we live in today, is a bonus, because we all need to hush the mind. So if we can hush the mind and we can get our nutrition right, then have a I've always looked at and I've asked the question to some of these clients that get ready to start the program. I said, is your health coach an asset to you? Asset meaning, do they care a lot about your health and well-being? And they said, well, yeah. I said, stay connected to them, because in this life we live, we all need people that encourages us to be better. And that's whenever you have someone else on your side, then there's chances are you'll be successful. So Steve, I know you probably had a question for Kenneth.
I just wanted to, and way to go, Kenneth. That's a huge achievement. I wanted to reiterate that having a coach, for me, that was the first time that I hadn't done many diets before, but having Lisa was my coach. That was huge. And every one of us probably has different things in our minds that when we're going through this, what helps us go through it. And I can remember early on Lisa saying, Steve, if you stray off the structure for one meal, you set yourself back about a day. But if you stray off the structure all day and just totally blow your day, well, you lose 4 days. And you never know what's really going to stick in your mind. And for that for me was huge. It was like it was just burned into my brain after her saying that. And I never, while I was going through, like in the early days, going through the program and having success, I remembered that, and I would never let myself do that. I just wouldn't. I was like you. I was enjoying the results, and things were going good. And I just said to myself, I will never let myself do that. So I may, maybe that Thanksgiving dinner comes up, and that meal comes around, and I would make sure that, okay, Thanksgiving's today. I might go off course a little, but yet I was still mindful. I was still very mindful, and I made sure that throughout that day that I did all my meal replacements before that meal came around. And then even when that meal came around, I found that, wow, I'm still making a lot better choices. And maybe I strayed off a little, but probably not that much. And then as it turned out, it probably didn't even set me back any. So it was nice to know that you have your coach, and you never know what's really going to make an impact from what they tell you. And I know for me, it was, never straying a whole day. It would I just wouldn't allow myself to do it. So that's worked for me. And I don't know if that helps anybody, or if anybody else ever felt like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think, Lisa and I have talked about this, that, we're all in the same boat to some degree, because we still have to deal with the emotional eating, all of the things that they're still there. I'm kind of like an alcoholic to some degree. It's a matter of just knowing and having the knowledge and being equipped to know that I'm in control and that I make these choices every day. I have to get up and choose every day to be healthy and not to be unhealthy, and that we all have to make that decision. And that's kind of the thing that Lisa kind of let me in on is, hey, I struggle with the same things you do. Nobody's immune to this. Like she always said, if it was this easy, everybody would be thin. We wouldn't have diet plans. But, we all have these struggles that we have with food, and it's just a matter of hey, we're all in the same boat. It's a matter of being armed with the knowledge and the authority to say, I'm in control here. The food is not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And how many of you are in the Support for Life group? Because, this is our family. This is our community of people that, like I said, we are all recovering. We are all recovering from this unhealthy path that we're exposed to in life. Because there again, we've got our TVs that's telling us to do this, and this. Then we've got the pharmaceutical drugs right behind it to promote, if you've got any health issues, you go see your doctor, get your meds, those kind of things. This is all about preventative medicine. This is all about where you get to wake up every day, but there's something you have to do. You have to be responsible for yourself. And that's why Dr. Anderson, he's such a great teacher with this, because in the stream of medicine, he was in critical care. So by the time patients got to him, they were in such poor health that he couldn't improve the quality of their life. So that's why he's the co-founder of this program. So he moved upstream so that way that we as a group can have a choice. So, for me personally, it was nice knowing that someone already laid the path. I didn't have to do anything, but I had to follow structure. And then yet at the same time, wouldn't you agree that it's ongoing, where you're continuously learning how to manage stress, manage life, manage the things in our lives to where we can really be thriving individuals, where we can truly be happy with ourselves. And the reason I asked about the Support for Life, how many of you seen the post I put on there today? Because we have a health challenge every month. Our company does a health challenge where you can participate, and it's all based on where it's easier to live this lifestyle that Kenneth is living. Because Kenneth, like he said, once he gets the weight off, does his challenge stop there? No. He's got to wake up every day, and he's got to be a protector of what kind of life that he wants to live. If he wants good quality of health, he's got to be able to wake up and do that. But, I shared in there today about food pushers. I'm sure Kenneth has been exposed to a lot of food pushers here lately. Whenever he goes to the holiday events, what does people do? They'll come and put the pipe in your face and say, "Here, have some." And then if you was to say, "Oh no, I can't have some, I'm on a diet," what are they going to tell you? They're going to say, "Well, you need to eat you some of this." So what if you owned, I'm creating optimal health? I can have that piece of pie. I know Kenneth and I had this conversation. You know, whenever you announce what you're doing for yourself to other people, and you announce that I'm creating optimal health, because like I said, who wants to be on a diet? I don't. Diets don't work. It's yo-yo. You're always up and down. You lose the weight, but you gain it back. But creating optimal health, this is a program where you are creating something. I know Kenneth has felt like he's actually created something because he's went from a place where he was limited to his mobility. Now he's able to ride a bike. So how has his life changed? His life has changed to where at the age he is now, in 10 years from now, he can still be that healthy if he chooses to. So, you know, this is what this program is all about. And it's something that it's always where you'll be able to grow and learn. And it's always you'll be around some of the most amazing people in the world. So that way that you not only have your health coach, but you have a team of people. And I sit here and I think I've got counted 11 people on here tonight that's celebrating Kenneth. And so, but Kenneth made this happen. He made it happen. And I just think he's someone that I don't think that this time, Kenneth, you'll ever have a problem with going backwards. Do you feel that you'll ever go back that other way again?
Oh, yes. I mean, I had those moments of terror, but I come back to the reality that I created this and that only I can destroy it. And, you know, it's always going to be in my control, and I don't intend to.
There you go. And what piece... What do you find that would make it, you know, because there again, we're all human. We can all fall in that place, like he said, where I'm not going to allow myself to go. But what would be a component that would help you feel safe again? If that were to go that direction, would you feel like the support from other people would make you feel safe again?
Yeah, I think I know that the program would always be there. You know, I could always, you know, if God forbid, you know, something horrendous happened in my life that sent me spiraling, that, you know, I could pick myself up and say, okay, I did it once. And, you know, I knew that I've done it twice in my life before. I don't want to have to do it again. I'm not planning to do it again. You know, my closet is, I'm been completely cleaning out all the big clothes. So I definitely have to I definitely don't intend to go there.
Well, I just want you to know one thing, that you always have a family. You always have a health family to come back to, because that's what this is all about, because we all have weak moments and we all have that, you know, sometimes it can be where life can be very, very heavy. And so I think there again, that's why I wanted to do this, because as a community, we all support you and we're all here for you.
Thank you. That is nice of you, and that is very comforting to know.
Yeah, it's a health family. You know, we get to pick our health family. So, yeah. So does anybody else have any questions for Kenneth?
Yeah, this is Chris again. Kenneth? Hey, first
Yes.
off, congratulations. I didn't say it earlier, but, you know, losing 100 pounds is a huge deal. Did it in 7 months. That's incredible. For someone who's just looking into this, can you talk a little bit about your milestones? I mean, obviously you had some food addictions. When did you feel like you broke some of those? At what point did you realize you were actually succeeding?
It was fairly early on. Probably within probably a month or two, especially around Christmas, I realized that I was beginning to learn about myself and about what triggers, what sets me off. in my failures in the past. And so once I identified those, Lisa and I had a lot of conversations about, boredom, eating when I was bored.
Sure.
I had it was one of my biggest bugaboos. I'm bored. Let's eat. Let's snack. Let's find something to put in my mouth. And so I identified that, and I'm thinking, that's it. I just trained my mind on something else. And so that's when I kind of started winning that battle. And I just found it taking all these little things out of my, shooting them down and saying, okay, this is why I'm failing. This little thing is why I'm failing. And picking them off one by one, I started feeling more confident that I was winning the battle. So it was probably about a month or two in.
Nice.
And Chris, I can share this with you because I took notes. I remember it was on January the 10th and this was like after the holidays, him and I, we had this discussion about his boredom and having idle time. But he was 57 pounds down whenever he I think he was so excited and with the non-scale victories with the program that's whenever he was then those things crept back in. So I've got that down here. It was January the 10th, Kenneth.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you and I started seeing that, because I know November the 19th, I wrote this down. You said you were not as depressed and your blood pressure was lowering a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Within the first week of this program, my blood pressure dropped 10 points. I was just, and it was for my pacemaker. I had to have it tested because my battery was going down. And I went in and I couldn't believe it. I had to actually, within 2 weeks, they lowered my blood pressure medication after being on this program. And so I was thinking, wow, this is really cool. It is really about health as much as about weight loss. And that's one of the things that I've learned. It's about my health as much as it is about weight loss. And the two go hand in hand. There's no denying that. But I am more thinking of my health than I am about my weight loss.
Yeah. And I think that's a shift that takes place. Don't you agree? It's like in the beginning, you're just so desperate to lose weight. There's a shift that takes place.
Can I just say something about the food as well? Dr. Anderson purposely chose the Medifast foods out of all the other diets that are out there. And I myself am a label reader, so I know I was on those other food programs, and the Medifast foods are so balanced nutritionally because they're medically formulated. So they deal with the hormones in the body. They deal with the inflammation, and that's what really, really balances your body. And that's what gets me, that people start feeling better, because for the first time in my life, I didn't know what it felt like to have a balance. The potassium is in the right ratio with the sodium. If you read any other bars out there, I doubt you'll find one that's got a proportion sodium potassium level. You see, these are medically formulated. And so to answer your question, Chris, that the reason why this program works is because the food, it just balances your body so amazing. And that's why Dr. Anderson chose the Medifast foods out of all the other foods that are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know for me, I mean, it was just such easy thing when we traveled, we went on vacation, the Medifast food was just so easy to carry along with you. And you didn't, and you were eating every 3 hours. So, I really never dealt with that much with hunger. even in the beginning, it wasn't really that bad. And so that food was very satisfying for the most part. I mean, I had my days when it was, oh my gosh, I have to eat this again. But I knew that something kicked in, and I just said, this is working. This is good. And so I would just trudge through and eat that bar, even though I really wanted something else.
And I love the transparency and the honesty when I really wanted something else. Because I think we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
I want a cheeseburger and French fries or potato chips, and So
well, I have not had a cheeseburger in 7 months, and I really don't know that I could really eat one all in one sitting. And I don't really want one. That's what's really weird to me, is that I really think that I've been so long without a lot of these high starch, high carb foods that I really don't crave them anymore. And I think that's another thing that the Medifast food, it gives you just what you need, and you learn to get all this out of your body, and you really don't. I just don't think about it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I still like a good cheeseburger, but I do rather than having a bun, I have lettuce.
Well, even when I hit my mark last Friday. I didn't celebrate. I didn't do anything. I just announced to my wife and to my sister, and and that was pretty much it. I just said, I didn't celebrate with a piece of cake or anything like that. I just I did it, and on to the next challenge.
There you go. And well, that's why I wanted to celebrate you, because like I said, it's huge. What you've done it's worth celebrating. And the thing is, who says we have to celebrate with food, right? I mean, there's so many other things we can celebrate with, but we tend to go towards the things that we love or that brings comfort to us. So just want you to know that you've got a lot of people here that appreciate what you've done. We support what you do. We love you for what you've done. And that itself is comfort. So, just always feel like that you have this community of people that are there, and that can fill in that void, of that longing for something else and longing for something that's going to take you to a place that you don't want to be. Because I know you've got to feel so wonderful about yourself right now.
I do. I really, really do. It's been an amazing journey. And I think I told you that it's not over. Our original goal was 100. I am shooting now for 120. And so I'm trudging forward, and probably in a couple of months we'll be celebrating 120.
And just think about his summer, how he's gonna. I think he said something about if the rain would stop, where he could, because I know he talked about wanting to be outside and garden and do those kind of things. So we talked about that, and so hopefully he'll get to do that, or be able to at least get outside and ride his bike like he's wanting to do.
Yeah, I could have did it today, but we had a sunshiny day today, but I was.
Good.
So hopefully it'll keep up.
Well, is anybody else have any questions for Kenneth before we? Can
I ask one more question to the life coaches?
Sure.
Yeah.
The plan itself seems to be 5 meal replacements and 1 healthy meal, and it works for everyone. But how about calorie intake? I mean, someone who is 200 pounds, someone who's 300 pounds. Is there a difference, or is everyone sort of on the same calorie intake to lose weight?
Everybody's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in the very beginning. I really never felt like I was missing anything. I wasn't really hungry. And so for me, I did, I did eat. In fact, there was a lot of times we found out that there was some snacks and stuff that we weren't eating that I could have eaten even more than what I was. And I had a lot of problem with sluggishness in the very beginning. But I think by almost the third or fourth week, my energy level was very good. I mean, and that's something that I've never had a problem with in the last 7 months is my energy level. I'm always, I'm ready. I can hit the bike, exercise just as good as if, I was on a regular, triathlon diet or something,
Right. Which,
So,
I
I
mean, with 5 replacement meals, you're really balancing your sugars.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
helps to get the energy going the whole day. Yep, gotcha.
Yes.
And basically with the program, the only time I've had to adjust the protocol is if someone is just hardcore cardio person where they cannot give up their exercise. You just have to adjust your protocol. Of course, we can help you with that to know if you just cannot give up your exercise or cut it in half whenever you start the program out.
Right.
Then we can adjust that because it's all about the calorie intake and the calorie expenditure. So it's been able to get that to where you put you in a low fat burning state. So, but anyway, it's like I said, it's simple for the busy people. We live in a very busy world, and simplification is what people need to where they don't have to think, where they can just trust that part's taken care of while they're busy doing, making the things happen in their life that they need to, like their jobs, their family, all that they have to do. So,
I'd like to say something to Chris. Chris, you know what was pretty amazing? Well, it's amazing how many years I've been overweight. And like so many people, like you'll see in the gym, there's some people that are very fit, but there's a lot of people that you'll see, they're just working out and they're not getting any place. They're still overweight. They're doing what they think they need to do. I was one of them, trying to work out, trying to do what I thought I needed to do, but wasn't working, never had the energy. So I didn't even know how I worked out because I didn't have the energy. So when I took 50 pounds off me, then exercise became a whole different thing. Now you're at the weight that you're supposed to be at, and now you can actually do exercises like with the proper form and do them the way you're supposed to be doing them. And not only that, now you have the energy to do it. You actually want to do it. So it was that was huge. That was huge for me. And Katie had a huge energy change. So it's just just doing it wrong for so long, and then finally it's all working.
Yeah. And this is all about getting the nutrition right. You can do all the other stuff, but until you get your nutrition right, you have to get that going, to where it's going to benefit you in the other areas. Because in all reality, with me personally, I exercise to try to lose weight, but yet I didn't, and it was basically trying to out-exercise a bad diet. I didn't have my nutrition right. So if you can get your nutrition, get that going, and then the other part, really, basically, you get to exercise for fun, where it's not work, where you're having to do that, and you feel like doing it. Because, in all honesty, exercise, I don't think any of us really, want to have to do exercise to lose weight. You would rather do it just for personal recreation. It's just something fun to do. So that's what happens.
And I think for me, I as I said, I had lost weight twice in my life. And this time with this program, it was a very different experience. And I think it was because of I was eating the wrong foods, and I was not healthy. I was not doing it the right way. And I think that's what makes this program so good is that it actually teaches you and gives you, not only teaches you, but gives you the proper nutrition and the right amount balance of everything that you need for and your body just becomes this fat burning machine, and it just takes off and it just I've lost weight in the last 7 months like I've never lost before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unreal, isn't it? It really is. You start thinking, is this really happening? Is this really happening? But yeah. But so does anybody else have any questions for Kenneth? This is awesome. Well, if this is all the questions we have, Kenneth, every one of us want to give you a round of applause for what you've done. What you've done it's big, and it's big because you made it happen, and you got up every day, and as I tell everyone, I said you done the do. You got up and you had to think and you had to deal with life and make this happen within your world. So I just really applaud you for that, because that's whenever things change in a person's life, whenever they get up every day and do the do and work on themselves, because that's what this is all about, is working on yourself. So
well, thank you, Liz. Thank you for all you've done for me during this journey, and I know that the journey's not over, and we'll continue to share and to go down this road of health together.
Hey, that sounds great. I enjoy it, and like I said, it all helps me to grow as a person, and whenever we get to grow together, we can be able to move on to places we've never been. So that's what this is all about. But I want to thank all of you for helping me celebrate Kenneth, and then there again, we're going to start our own 100 club, because like I said, it's these stories like this, being able to stay the course and be able to achieve the goal. That's what it's all about, to have a different life. So thank you so much, Kenneth, for your time tonight, and thanks everyone for being on, and we'll do this real soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right.
Bye. Congratulations.
Good night.
Congratulations. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.